Hey fam, welcome to class. Welcome to your recovery day. All you need for today's class is two blocks or some objects similar to that, a blanket and maybe a cat, because I have a cat who decided to join me today. Well, recovery days are pretty chill. Usually, I like to add a bit of movement into my recoveries, and it always kind of works really nicely for me and my body because you're not taking a full day off and just sitting on your butt, but you're also not doing something too intense. So it's just somewhere in between where you find a little soft mobility, a little bit of movement, and a little bit of ease in your practice. Isn't that right, friend? Well, let's get to this. Me and my friend are going to help you find a beautiful way to recover. So, if you have a blanket, you can do this on the mat, you can do this on the floor, you can do this pretty much anywhere, it does not matter. Find yourself into a child's pose. I'm gonna move you because I need the blanket, but let's see. If you have a cat, use the cat. Use the cat and the blanket, right? So find yourself into a child's pose. Maybe if you have a second blanket, put it under your knees. Otherwise, take the blanket in front of you and start to kind of use it to slide around. Maybe you have a cat to slide around. That also works really well. And I know this seems ridiculous, but right now it kind of is. But place your hands onto. I can't believe this is a class. But apparently, this is what happens when you come onto my channel. Use your hands to slide yourself in the child's pose. So you're moving out, you're moving in, moving left. Oh, good choice, kitty. You're moving left, you're moving right. You're finding a little bit of stretch in your side body. Take your hands maybe on the blanket and use that to slide left and to slide right. As you can see, this doesn't have to be the deepest child's pose. We're not going all the way in. We're just going to a space where you can find a little bit of movement. A little movement in the spine, stretching out the side body. You don't even have to fully be all the way down on your legs. You can have your hips slightly up and you can move around. The beautiful part about recovery is that the body just needs a small bit of movement just to get the blood flowing, just to get the energy grooving. It doesn't have to be a deepest stretch. I'm not even looking for sensation. For example, I'm not aiming for a stretch. If my legs open too wide, I bring them back in. You can even do this in kind of. Actually, I'm going to do the next bits with the legs almost together, so it doesn't overstretch my hips. And also, it's a lovely way to clean up the floor. I think my friend wasn't a big fan of the whole sweeping the floor and decided to leave. Well, either way. So move around, slide around. Maybe even take the hands onto the blanket, reach it further out, come back in. My movements are very soft. I'm not even pressing, my hands are loose. Just a little connection with the ground. The blocks can be available if you need, but you don't need them right now. Check towards your right, making circles. Finding a little stretch in your side body, maybe extending one hand and then the other hand. Maybe going to the other side and extending one hand and then the other hand. This is a nice way to find a stretch without reaching for it, if that makes sense. Like, you're not aiming to go to your deepest, you're just letting the body find a space that it wants to settle into, a space that it feels comfortable being in, a space that you today, with or without a cat, or any other friends, move around just a bit more, be groovy, be fluid. Maybe get the elbows into the ground, maybe get the hands and the head onto the hands. Just sway Lift the hips up, settle the hips down. If you do want to go into a proper child's pose, now is a good time to do that. Settle into your child's pose and then wave around. Maybe you find a bit more space into the hips. Maybe your hands want to reach further out. Notice where you end up. Maybe you have a cleaner flow than what you started off with. And maybe you have more space. Give that one a break. Come back to a seat. Get the legs in. You can even take the bolster and just sit onto it for a moment. I said bolster, I meant blanket. I kind of get confused sometimes with the softness. So just take a moment to breathe. Roll the chest open. Maybe take the hands back. Just roll around. This week has been quite intense for me. I've been doing a lot of strength training, so a lot of handstands and handstand push-ups and a lot of twisty movements. And I went for a trail run as well, so my legs are cooked, my shoulders are cooked. I'm cooked. So maybe maybe this one appeals to you as much as it appeals to me. So cool, let's get to the next. Well, the rain has started to come in. That's lovely. Maybe you can hear it in the mic. I don't know if the mic picks it up, but it's beautiful. It's a tropical storm that's just come in. If it gets too loud, I hope you can hear me. I can't listen to the audio right now, but I hope you can hear me. It does have a tendency of getting a little bit loud out here. So let's take a butterfly pose. Take your blocks. Oh, you actually don't even need blocks. If you have blankets, you can roll them up. I'm sitting on the blanket just to give me some height. I'm gonna place the blocks somewhere near my ankles just to, prop me up a little bit. You might not need it, but it's nice to have. And start to just move around. Blocks are not the softest, I just realized. They are pretty intense into my feet. Luckily, they're foam blocks. But if you have caulk or wood, this is not going to be the nicest, and I highly recommend get something softer. But I got these right now, and I'm gonna work with it. I'm gonna roll with it. So if you start to, you can adjust your feet a little further out. You can adjust them further in. I usually find more space when I'm further out. And you can twist and weave and turn and wave. Just opening up the side body, opening up the inner groin. We did work into the space into our child's pose, and notice if it feels nice in your butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, because the legs open up like the wings of a butterfly. It's obvious, but move left, move right. Feel a little pressing quality. You can press with the elbows, you can press with the hands. You can look around. You can bob and weave and wave and breathe. As you can see, I'm just letting my spine and my chest find a little bit of movement. I'm making circles. You can let the chin lead the way. You can let the hands, the shoulders lead the way, the chest lead the way. Whatever you like today, it doesn't matter. And maybe you lean forward and you bounce around. The rain is coming in hard. I really hope you can hear me, otherwise this is going to be a very different audio experience for the class, but we'll find out later. Either way, bounce around. Something very calming about the rain, especially when you're in an open environment. Move your side body, your hips. Find a bit of grooviness, a bit of ease. Sway, adjust. And maybe fall in for a few breaths. You can bounce, or you can be still, you can be stable. It's your choice. Wherever you end up is lovely. Wherever you end up, it's lovely. It's a good place to be. So move around, bounce around. Feel into your breath. And then let that go. If any of these movements or stretches, come upright, by the way. I'm sorry I forgot to mention this while you're in it. If any of these movements or stretches or any spaces that you find yourself in are very conducive or feel really nice, you can always pause the video and just stay as long as you need. I'm walking into spaces where I feel a little bit of opening myself, and then when my body says, okay, you're done, I kind of tend to come out of it. But you do you, it's your practice. Whatever calls out to you is perfectly valid and lovely today. So take your time with it. This is not a very it's a very intuitive practice today. Very, very intuitive. And with that being said, let's move to our last little bit of movement and stretch. This is like a reverse hero's pose. Hero's pose is when we take our bum in between the legs and we sit down. This could be very, very intimidating and not approachable for most of us. So try getting your blanket or bolster or pillow. You can roll it a bunch of times, bringing the ground up to you. And this could be a wonderful place to move around, finding a bit of stretch. If this is still not approachable enough, take one leg out while the other leg is in, and notice if the weight shifting to one side is a bit easier. Maybe. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you how I do it, but you have a couple of variations that you can pick depending on what you want to experience today. So I usually sit on the ground, I'll take the blanket, I'll make it into a bit of a sausage roll. Vegan sausage if you're vegetarian. I don't want to get cancelled. Oh well, take your blocks behind you if you need it. So you can always prop, for example, place the blocks underneath and then place something soft on top. Or maybe you have something soft already and you want to lean into it. So option one, you could move your hips around. This could be plenty. You might not need more. This could be enough. You can just use your hands, or you could be in front, leaning in or leaning sideways. Option two, you take your elbows to the ground. Good place to be. Same idea with movement. I'm rolling my hips. I'm finding a rotation in my tailbone, a little reach, a little bob, a little wave. And option three, maybe you lean into it. Maybe you bring yourself so further up from the ground, it feels nice. And then you start to weave and wave. This one is really nice for the psoas, really nice for the quads and the knees. With all the trail running I've been doing, it's quite cool. You can also do a bit of a half snow angel. So I like to take my hands on top and then scooch them back halfway and then take them up. So as I take them up, I find a little bit of length in my body, lifting my tailbone up. As I come down, I drop it. So notice how that feels. Maybe it helps you get longer in your spine. Again, this is only available if you can put your hips onto the ground, finding a stretch, loosening the stretch. But you do not do anything that doesn't feel nice. All right, so go to a space that feels easy. It's recovery day, right? You don't want to go too far. Maybe one hand reaches up, the other hand reaches down. So you're just doing a little bit of a opposing side stretch, but in a very soft mobility way. It's not anything intense. It's just an easy way to open things up. Don't forget to breathe. And this could be plenty. You could stay as long as you like. I'm feeling like I've had enough and I want to come out of it, so I'm gonna make my way up. Let your legs go long. Open them out. Shake them out. And these are just 3 things that I do on my recovery day. Sometimes I take a bit more or a few more stretches. Sometimes I'm just very, I lay down in Savasana for a long time, propping my legs up the wall. So do what's calling out to you. If you want to get back to any of these stretches, you can. Otherwise, just lay down, take a nap, take it easy, open the feet out, find your Savasana, or maybe if a meditation is calling out to you, take it. I hope you enjoyed this class with me and my friend who decided to run away. I think he heard the rain coming and wanted to go somewhere a bit more dry. I hope you enjoyed the rain and I hope you could hear me. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful, that's a lot of hopes, but last one. I hope you have a wonderful recovery. Recovery days are wonderful and it really helps us come back to our strength and come back to our focus. Sometimes you just gotta, take the day off with a bit of movement. So either way, I hope you had a good one. Feel free to come back to this anytime or take these puzzle pieces and do something in your practice, in your body, in your mind and being. And let me know how this resonated with you. I'd love to know how this practice worked. Either way, have a wonderful day. My name's Varun. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.